Hello everyone, the topic of my research proposal is the effects of principles instructional leadership on teacher self-efficiency in primary and secondary school in Jiangsu province in China. First is background of the study. The Minister of Education of China regards instructional leadership as one of the criteria for the appointment and assessment of principals of primary and secondary school. The 19th Basic Education Curriculum Reform has posed a new challenge to the improvement of instructional leadership of primary and secondary school principals. In order to deepen the reform of education evaluation, the Chinese Minister of Education clearly stated in the compulsory education quality evaluation guidelines that for teacher development, it's necessary to improve the principal's management ability and instructional leadership. The next part is introduction to the theory. I will introduce the definition of the research on instructional leadership, self-efficiency, teacher self-efficiency, and so that readers can understand what variables I studied. About my introduction in details, I will write my paper. So let me talk about my research ideas and why I studied PRL and TSE. This structure diagram simply shows that there is a link between PRL and TSE. Previous research analyses have found that instructional leadership has a positive impact on student academic performance, but leadership often has an indirect impact on student performance, with student learning taking place primarily in the school and the classroom, with teachers having the greatest influence on the learning, followed by leadership. Additionally, instructional leadership typically focuses on student performance and effective teaching. Teachers are also the main participating in teaching practice, so the instructional leadership affects teachers' teaching practice. Bandula believes that self-efficiency can affect people's thinking patterns and behavior choices. Self-efficiency is context-specific and can be shaped and changed from context to context. Teachers' self-efficiency is affected if instructional leaders exercise their leadership practice and there is plenty research showing a link between self-efficiency and instructional leadership. So it can be inferred that there is a close relationship between the principal's instructional leadership and the teacher's self-efficiency. The third part is the problem statement. Through a systematic review by Heilinger and other scholars of scopes indexed in instructional leadership journals from 1940 to 2018, the study confirms that the knowledge based on instructional leadership continues to grow in size. It can be seen that instructional leadership has amazing persistence and extraordinary research significance in education and academic area. However, according to the empirical research of the Heilinger and other scholars, instructional leadership has only started to develop from aging in the past 5 years, and emerging countries represented by China has not yet become the main field of educational leadership research. Therefore, there are still many unexploited areas of educational leadership research in the Chinese context. Even in the context of Chinese education, scholars have many studied principles in instructional leadership and teachers' professional learning, teach student academic performance, teaching professional development, teaching teacher job certification, organizational commitment, professional learning communities. There are little discussion and investigations in the link between PRL and TSE. Although there are many journals that study PRL and TSE, but most of them explore a relationship between instructional leadership and other variables. The TSE is only used as an intermediate variable. There's still few papers that directly study the relationship between PRL and TSE, especially based on the background of Chinese education. So in my opinion, it's necessary to do research on TSE and PRL. Part 4 is research objective to examine PRL in primary and secondary school in Jiangsu province in China, to examine TSE in primary and secondary school in Jiangsu province in China, to investigate an association between TSE and PRL in primary and secondary school in Jiangsu province in China, to explore how the PRL practice affects TSE in primary and secondary school in Jiangsu province in China. Fifth part, research question. Okay, sixth part, research design and research methodology. Based on the purpose of exploring the relationship between principals, instructional leadership, and teachers' self-efficiency, this study used quantitative research methodology to explore the impact of principals, instructional leadership, and teacher self-efficiency through questionnaire survey. Okay, survey subjects include 966 teachers from 15 primary and secondary school teachers in public school in Jiangsu province, China. Sample size used the Crejus and Morgan table, about 265. Research instruction used PRMRS and TSES. The formal questionnaire of this study is divided into 3 parts, which are guidelines notes, basic information, and the skilled subjective. And the objective of filling out the questionnaire is teachers. The basic information includes 5 questions, include gender, teacher's age, education background, teaching parent, and teaching experience. The main body of the scale is composed of the PRMRS and TSES. Says the survey items was developed into foreign English translation and verification are required before they can be used in China without changing the original meaning, and author translation some of the items of the scale and ensures that they can suitable for the Chinese education background and final from the form questionnaire of the study. The sixth part is the data analysis techniques. This study uses SPSS to analyze responsibility, reliability, and validity of the questionnaire of the collected data to ensure the scientific nature of the survey tools and the research results. Multiple regression analysis was used to test the hypothesis of the relationship between PRL and TSE in the study. Descriptive statistical analysis focus on identifying frequency and percentage to answer all research questions. 18th part, significance of the study. Exploring the relationship between PRL and TSE can reveal the potential of instructional leadership in enhancing student learning, highlighting the importance of TSE in influencing principal education practice by confirming a favorable association between PRL and teacher effectiveness. Establishing a broader framework for PRL practice in the Chinese education context from the perspectives of principals and teachers, helping with the knowledge based by answering the core for localization of instructional leadership research. Well, this is my reference. That's all. Thank you.